My host, as I always say, the often imitated but never duplicated, the felonious monk. How in the hell are you? How you feeling?
Feeling pretty good, man. Feeling pretty good. Playing some good Madden. Ready to get, it's been a while,
Yeah,
ready to get this show on the road.
yeah. I've been out of commission. I want to apologize to the audience. I didn't want them to think we were slacking, but I had that Barry White voice, and I've been sick since like around Christmas, man. So I just would get on, play my games, and go lay back down. So glad to be back on the air. There's a lot to talk about. We got on the agenda today. We're going to take a little walk around the league and see what the playoff races are looking like. We're also going to take a look at the MVP awards and also to see what players are ranking high in the individual rookie of the years and top positional award rankings. And then we got a segment, just so make sure that we want to make sure we're not just talking about the playoff teams. We want to talk about some of the teams that are not playoff teams as we enter season four coming up. We want to talk about is it the scheme or is it the team
Scheme or
that's the
team?
issue? Yeah, scheme or team, which is a classic Madden thing. Is it the scheme or is it the team or is it both? What we're going to take a look at some teams and see what the issues. We're going to offer some humble. Again, we don't know it all, right? We're going to offer some humble recommendations on what they could potentially do or not do, or what they have done to have them in the predicament that they're in. Uh, but let's first talk about the playoff race where we're actually moving at a great pace. We're at week 13, and there are a few teams that are involved in some battles in the AFC and NFC. Let's take a look at some of the teams in contention. Let's start with the NFC and see what we can glean from the A, and let's start with the NFC East. We'll kind of go in order with the Redskins and the Cowboys. Those are the only two teams that are in contention. The Cowboys, if I recall, jumped out to like a big lead. They had a 2 or 3 game lead, but the Redskins have sort of walked them down. And what are your thoughts on the Redskins Cowboys NFC East playoff picture?
Well, it was one of those things where the Cowboys had a fast start, and I'm thinking, we got the old Coach Silver back, and then all
Hmm.
of a sudden, I think he had a sim loss in there. Let
Hmm.
me pull his schedule. I know he had that. I know he had one sim loss in a crucial game. I don't even remember who that was
Yeah,
to.
there was a sim loss that he shouldn't have missed that game, and that kind of hurt him. Ezekiel Elliott's been doing some great things. Des Bryant looking like the real Des Bryant. You just throw the ball in his area and he's gonna make a play. Um,
Yeah, it's a
but
commitment thing with these guys, man. It's just a commitment thing. I mean, they started 4-0, had a loss to the
hmm
Colts, which was tough. That was a battle of the undefeateds when they were both 4-0.
hmm
Won a couple more games, lost to the Redskins, and he's dropped two straight to the 49ers and the Texans. The 49ers was a game he was favored to win. The Texans, I would say he was favored, maybe by not a lot, but he was definitely favored. So I
hmm
think that 49ers game was a sim loss. So he's got that sim loss and a loss to the Texans. And last time I looked, the Saints game was going on right now. He was losing in that game. So it's tied. It's tied up now. It's 7-7 now.
Okay, yeah, we're not. That game's
So it's still
as
still
as
going on.
predicted,
But I
not
mean,
televised.
what I will say, and I've already looked at this one time, is that the, the Cowboys' remaining schedule. Well, it's not too simple. I mean, he's got the Redskins, the Panthers, and the Bucks left, compared to the Redskins who have. I think the Redskins have the Falcons, Vikings, and
Hmm.
Titans. Oh, they got well. Both of them have pretty tough schedules down the stretch. So I don't know, man. I think the Skins will probably win it. They're looking pretty good lately. But I'm disappointed in the Cowboys. I thought that was a situation where they were going to be battling that one out to the end, and it looks like one team's trending up and one team's trending down.
Yeah, and I don't know if two teams will get in because of what's going on elsewhere. We'll talk a little bit about the wild card picture. Let's swing it over to the NFC North, where the talk of the town has been the Green Bay Packers, and they've been asking for this show because I'm thinking they want some airtime because of their 10-2 record, and rightfully so. The question is, they should almost, yeah. There's a 4 game lead with 4 games left to play, so they're looking like they're going to win this division outright.
Yeah, they've actually clinched it. They're at 4 games and they swept the
Oh,
Vikings.
yeah,
So
yeah. So this is a wrap.
yeah, it's absolutely insane. I mean, we picked them to win, but I didn't expect it to be clinched in week 12, week 13. Um,
What do you, I mean, let's talk about this because last season they had an injury at quarterback, right? I
right?
think Bridgewater got hurt, and this year they managed to stay healthy. I know they had a recent injury in their last game, but they've stayed healthy. As the coach pointed out, they haven't been turning over the ball. Some argue that their schedule was favorable, although they did play 6 teams over 500, I believe 6 playoff teams, and they were 4-2 against those teams. So, are you buying or selling the Green Bay Packers?
I mean, you have to buy at this point. They're going to be in the playoffs. They're looking like they're going to get a bye. I
Hmm.
mean, they're in prime position for a bye. I think what do the Bucks have? 2 losses or 3 losses? I think the Bucks have 2 losses. So it's between
Tampa
them
has
and the
two
Bucks
losses.
for a bye, and the Packers' schedule, I believe, is more
Is
favorable than the Bucks' schedule.
Yes, yes, it is. I don't believe they have a. I think they play Philadelphia. They've got a. I believe. Let's take a quick look at. They've got a
I've got
very
it up.
favorable
They got the
schedule.
Vikings, Jets. Oh, there. I'm sorry. They got the Bills, Patriots, Eagles, and Cardinals. So they don't play anybody else with a winning record for the rest of the year.
Yeah. So this is.
And then you got the
This
Bucks,
is.
who have I know I play the Bucks again. The Bucks play the Cowboys. I just looked that up. So the Bucks have Eagles,
Mhm,
Saints, Giants, Falcons, Cowboys. So they have 2 games where they could possibly lose.
mhm.
So the Packers might end up with a bye. But what I do
This
want to
is
point out about
very
the Packers,
possible.
what the 2 things that I think are very important, and I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna talk about Billy Harvey for longer than 5 or 10 minutes. I just can't. But you got to point to 2 things. Number one is they're
Hmm.
finally running AP like they should have been doing when he was a young spring chicken. I think,
Hmm.
if I'm not mistaken, he may be leading the league. And not leading the league in rushing, but I think he may be leading the league in attempts or right up there near. Yeah, he's leading the league in attempts. So they're giving him the
Hmm.
ball. Not scoring a lot, not going for a bunch of yards, but to be able to run him that many times is a lot. It shows a lot about ball control. And number two, um, they went and got one of coordinator Harvey's favorite players,
Hmm.
Kobe Fleener.
Yeah, yeah. Well, he's got about 50 catches that we saw for about almost 800 yards. We're
13
seeing
touchdowns.
13 touchdowns here. Yeah, and what I'm seeing on defense is Demarius Randall and Sam Shields. These guys are making plays. 7 interceptions for Sam Shields, and
I think Daniels
Morgan
is leading the
Burnett's
league in
got.
sacks.
Yeah, yeah. So they're getting some defense here from their secondary, and Devontae Adams has 63 catches, which is a nice combination with Kobe Fleener as you mentioned, and AP on the ground, looking steady. So. The defense, I don't know if you noticed this, the defense is ranked third against the rush and third against points total. So, again, a lot of so let's last thought on before we move on. If if the Green Bay Packers go one and done, much in the way the real Dallas Cowboys did this season, is it a failure?
Yeah, if they have a bye and they lose, yeah, it's a failure. I mean, I can't really say it's a failure with a lot of strength because I mean Harvey hadn't made the playoffs this whole Madden. Um, so a lot of people, no one expected him to win the division except for us two. But it would be a success if he makes the playoffs overall. But he's gonna get shit. Like I'm gonna give him shit if he goes to the playoffs and lose the first game. His confidence is already waning. Like he's sitting here hammering me talking about writing power rankings because he's scared he's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna be in them. He's not gonna be ranked high. He's gonna lose some of these games. If he shouldn't lose any games remaining on his schedule, if he loses a game, I'm gonna let him
Mm-hmm.
have it. So if you're gonna be 10-2, play big time
Yeah,
ball. I'm gonna need you to win a
yeah,
playoff game.
yeah, and he may be in line for that buy as we mentioned. So a lot of expectation on the line for the Green Bay Packers, and we will see, as they say. Let's swing it over to the NFC South, a division you know well and previously have owned, but not this year. As I look, you're a half a game. Well, it could be technically a game and a half since you did lose to the Buccaneers. Is that correct? Or
I did. I took it now.
yeah,
17-14.
yeah, yeah. So you would have to win the next game in order to get that divisional tie and then hopefully win out it on the divisional record. But half a game, for folks that were talking about the demise of the Falcons, you're right there again with a 9-3 record, dealing with a lot of injuries. So can you talk a little bit about what has kept the Falcons afloat while your quarterback, after the quarterback trade for Jack Downs?
We've been able to run the ball pretty well, minus a couple games. The games we haven't been able to run have been the games we struggle with. Quarterback play has been all over the place all year, even before we traded Goff and had to deal with Tannehill for a couple of weeks, and quarterback play was all over the place. But we haven't. I mean, the games we lost one in overtime. We lost one by 3 points. We lost one by a point to the champs at the last second. So I'm not disappointed in these guys considering what the front office has put them through. But we'll see what happens. We got the Bucks one more time. They got. I think they won three straight against us. But that game is probably going to decide the division, assuming I'm able to beat these Redskins next week, and that's going to be a tough game. We had a classic in the playoffs last year, so it's going to be tough either way. Like I have the harder remaining schedule, I think, between the two of us. Um, but it'll come down to it, man. And then if I lose a game here, I got Seattle's right there. They've got four losses. So
Mm-hmm.
Falcons are not by any means guaranteed to be in the playoffs, but we've been putting in some work, so we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Are the Buccaneers they're also fighting for that number two seed? Uh, what are your thoughts on them potentially representing as the two seed, assuming the Rams don't falter down the stretch?
Hey, the Bucks and the Rams are the two teams in the NFC who I think have the strongest shot to represent the NFC. Bucks are tough to guard, man. They got a lot of speed. Cam Newton fell into their lap. He presents a little option if you want to play coverage where he can take off with him. I think Cooks is first or second in the league in receiving yards this year. Their defense is stout. They play the run really well. That loss to Harvey was a little surprising. I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah.
But they overall, man, they're a solid team. Solid team, tough to guard. He's got a lot of trickery up his sleeve when it comes to the play calling.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to be on your p's and q's, and I don't know if anybody in the NFC is going to be able to handle
Mm-hmm.
that except for somebody like the Rams.
Well, the other Koch brother is still in the playoff hunt, and I have to admit, the trade with Cam Newton for Jameis Winston was interesting to say the least, and I was wondering what the benefit was, and it looks like Tampa has benefited from this, but also knowing that there was an injury on the Carolina side. I did watch the game against Atlanta. They had a 4th and 2 in their own end in overtime. And I'm just looking at decisions like that and saying, was that the smartest move when you're fighting for a wild card position? What did I mean? Obviously, you were in that game.
I mean, I was happy to see it. Fourth and
Yeah.
two is really a down and distance that I like to see on defense because you're not automatic. Like it's not automatic. You can't go out there and call a sneak. You're not really
Mm-hmm.
guaranteed to get it if you call something like a dive. And you know how
Mm-hmm.
outside runs are. You may think you have an outside run open and your dude gets shedded and knocked out. So if you come
Mm-hmm.
out there and you play something with hard flats,
Mm-hmm.
um, that person has to have the gall to number one make that read in that pressure situation and hit a second option. And a lot of people don't do that. Like that's not something you're looking to do on fourth and two. On fourth and two, you're trying to get something safe. Most people are looking for like a drag over the middle, a little bench concept or something in the flat or something like that. And when those things shut down, you can get some pressure in your face. There's a lot of things that can go wrong. And so that was, I would not have gone for that, but a lot of people feel like, and especially in a game like that, I can understand if it's like 40-40 or something, and you're like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I haven't stopped this dude all day. I need to score here, but we had stopped each other the whole game. I think the score was, what was it, like 14-14? I don't even know if it was that. It may have been 10-13-10 or something.
It was
It was,
13-10. It was, yeah, it was
yeah.
low scoring.
So I mean, I had troubles running the ball that whole game. I was having issues scoring. Hell, I couldn't even score a touchdown and seal it. So
Mm-hmm.
I would have probably punted in that situation. But I mean, that's how it worked out. We're glad for the gift.
Yes, it was. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to Atlanta for that one, because that was a easy field goal range right after that. So you got to have a money play ready, and I saw an off tackle run. I got to go Stephen A. Smith on him there. What the hell are you doing there? What are you doing?
I
The
don't.
box had 7 or 8 guys in the box.
Yeah, I
It
don't.
didn't look good from pre-snap.
Mm-mm.
So I
Yeah,
mean,
you
I
don't
got
want
to
to
go
run.
Stephen.
Yeah, that's not a running situation in my opinion.
No, you got to have something dialed up a little bit better there in overtime with your playoff life on the line in a very tough NFC South. Let's swing it over to the NFC West, which has been, uh, you know, the most quiet 12-0 record I've ever seen. The Los Angeles Rams following up their season 2 championship.
Oh, we're having technical difficulties. You guys can hold. Let me see if I can get my co-host back in here. We'll create a new party. I just kick franchise out of here, man. What's up with that?
Uh-oh, are we back?
Yeah, we're back. Said the party was
Okay.
terminated due to a network error or something, but we were on the
All right.
Rams and their quiet 12-0 start.
Yeah, yeah. I I'm trying to say, I looked at the rest of the schedule. They do have a couple of tough games left, but I know they would like to follow up their Super Bowl win with a back-to-back and also to be undefeated. I'm pretty sure that would be something. If we know Lons the way we think we do, he's chomping at the bit to go back to back to make, everybody say, hey, I'm not a one-hit wonder. Um, that division usually has 3 teams in contention. As I'm looking at it, the Cardinals are at a
Mm.
very sad 3-8, and the Seahawks are fighting for what looks to be a wild card spot. What's your take on the NFC West in season 3?
I can't say enough about the Rams, man. Gurley is looking like MVP again. They've had some tight games, but Lons has looked like he's picked up on how to win. Like those tight games, he's winning every single one of them since that Super Bowl win. I guess he figured I won the Super Bowl at the last minute and what's winning these regular season games. So every now and then he'll pop in the chat and say all we care about is winning games, and that seems to be that dude's winning games. Gurley can run 20 times for 45 yards. He's winning the game. Gurley can run 20 times for 200 yards. He's winning the game. So uh,
Mm.
it's not. I don't like what I'm seeing, man. The Rams. The Seahawks, though, Seahawks have played them pretty tight. I think they lost in overtime. They're 8-4. The Seahawks, myself, and either the Cowboys or Redskins are going to be fighting for two wild card spots, and we're all like right within a game of each other. So the Seahawks are stumbling. I believe their schedule's pretty tough down the stretch too. But nothing more I can say about the Rams. The Niners' new owner is looking pretty tough, but the Cardinals, man, Dave Urian, 3-8. That might be the
I
biggest disappointment.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that on the flip side when we talk about scheme or team, and we'll get to them in a minute. Let's swing it over to AFC East. And a lot was made of the AFC East on draft day. We got 35 picks. We got all the picks coming, and all the fanfare. The Dolphins were bigging up his AFC East mates. Watch out for the Jets, watch out for the Pats, and the Bills are humming. And it's the same picture we saw for season one, season two. Dolphins are sitting there.
Division clinch,
It's
pretty much.
the Dolphins. The Dolphins are like those politicians that come into the hood talking about, "Hey man, it's gonna get better for y'all one day. It's gonna get better for y'all. Y'all just keep voting for me, and the school's gonna get better. We're gonna bring clean water, and it's the same. It's the
You think
same
you think you
picture.
got it tough in your division? Look where I grew up. It's tough.
Yeah,
It may not look tough, but it's tough in the AFC East.
exactly. And then he just rolling it, but he keeps telling them, "Hey, y'all gonna be great, man. Y'all great." And he got a 4-game lead, and he's laughing all the way to the division title, the 10-man at 9-3. I don't know if the Bills or Patriots are still. They might be mathematically alive. Pat's lost a tough game to Tennessee recently, so I don't know if there's anything more to say here.
I mean, the Patriots at 5-7 have made an improvement over last season, but I wanted to see them compete this year. They played tight games, but they're still not winning those games. They're still not making those decisions late in games that are required for you to win them. So, but other than that, man, it's just sad state of affairs in the AFC East.
Yeah, we're looking for more in season four. I'm sorry, in season five. So they've got a couple more seasons to turn it around, um, and there's been more than enough time to do that. Let's swing it over to the AFC North with the Pittsburgh Steelers
Oh,
are
look at
on
there.
top of that division. Yeah, at 7-5 and starting to pull away. The Ravens seem to disappear and go camping at a moment's notice. So you never even know if they're in or around. They don't tell you, they just disappear. And we're not really sure what the focus is in Baltimore, which is sad because they took over a team that was right there in it, and it's been disappointing. And the Cleveland Browns at 2-9. Um, yeah, I mean these teams. Cincinnati was the winner in season one. I
They have
think it's all
gone the
about the
wrong
squirreled
way.
anus, the
They have
squirrel dominus anus.
the squirrel dominant.
Dominus anus. Yeah, that's the new name we're hearing is out
They
there.
have the Bengals and the Browns, man. I think both of them have had buys at one point, and now look at them. They are going in the
Yeah,
wrong direction.
I'll tell you this: the Steelers, just like in real life, are a dangerous group.
Yeah,
That group, and if it gets pulled together, I mean, they can run verticals, and any one of those guys can catch it in traffic with a guy draped on them. they,
yeah, and they're
they are
all
coming down
big.
with those passes. Yep, they're all
Yeah,
tall, and
it's
and
tough to
that's a
deal with,
problem.
man. And I
Yeah,
mean, and we said that he doesn't have a beast back, which is one thing we can put out the window now. But I mean, look, those guys. I mean, I've played them. We've done inter squad practices a bunch of
yeah,
times. And when he gets it going, that's a tough group to cover.
yeah. And his defense is playing well.
Defense
We
is
like
great.
some of the
Defense is
schemes.
great.
Yeah, we saw a lot of good schemes when we played Pittsburgh recently. So um, don't sleep on Pittsburgh. All right, let's swing it over to the AFC South. And This is one of my favorite owners in the whole league. I mean, this owner picked, I believe, 27th in the draft when teams were selected. He didn't get his Carolina Panthers. He quietly took the Andrew Luck Colts, and look where he has them in season three. This is the blueprint of how you put a team together when you have a low pick. He built up his rookies. I don't recall him even making a lot of trades, if any. He did it all through the draft, and look where he is at 11-1, the top record in the AFC East. I mean, I'm sorry, in the entire AFC.
Yeah, I mean this is a weird thing we got going on here, man. This is a weird thing.
Yeah,
Renegade.
yeah.
I mean, it looks like I haven't seen that many of his games, so I have to be honest about that. But just analyzing the
Mhm.
stats, you remember season one we were talking about how he'd get in the red zone and he didn't stray away from
Yeah,
running his spread. Well, that's clearly not
yeah.
the case because his running back has what 20 some TDs out here today.
No, he has 29 touchdowns. 29.
Yeah,
I
so
think that's we're headed towards a record there.
yeah, he's gonna break the touchdown and season record. So obviously, Renegade has learned that maybe we need to value these red zone possessions, and he has learned it. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, tell me this though. So, do you think part of that is his division?
Uh,
Because that division has
well,
not been a great division either.
let's say this. They were enhanced by the addition of Loco coming in as the Titans and bringing some stability to the Tennessee Titans. I think the Texans are normally better than this. They had their quarterback hurt, and dare I say he misses Brock Osweiler, but he does. And I don't know if Braxton Miller was the answer as a backup, but he is using him. And I think the combination of that and I think those games are always tough. They're very familiar with each other, but I just think it's the Colts developing their rookies. We saw what T.J. Green could do after his season one, and he's got a whole bunch of guys with some really catchy names: Luther, Shark LeVay, and Becky Icebach O'Shea, and Reggie Ragland is is the top linebacker with 9 interceptions. So he is he is he is doing what they call cultivating his talent, and he's doing it through the draft. Like I said, I don't recall a last Renegade trade that
I
was
don't.
even.
Yeah, he traded me a
Yeah,
safety for a second rounder this
yeah.
season,
I
but
mean, the
other than
Maya
that, I don't think
deals.
I've seen another deal from him.
Yeah, so his scheme is certainly he adjusted it. We asked him during media Monday Madness, and he said he adjusted his art of the spread. And we have seen a few of his games, and he's just making better decisions. And Andrew Luck stays healthy, and Marquise Conrad is just toting the rock. So he's gonna. It looks
T.Y.
like the
Hilton is a
road to.
monster. I didn't even know he was like this now.
Yeah, you mean his stats?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's got that
94
94
speed,
speed.
94 catch, 93 catch in traffic, 92 spec catch, 96 route running.
Yeah, yeah, you get it to him, and although he's 5'9", he will catch it in traffic. So Titans and Texans still alive for that final wild card spot. So that's not over yet, and both of those teams are dangerous. I
Yes,
still,
yes, they are.
and let's go to my division, the AFC West, which has traditionally, Monk, put three teams into the playoffs. I don't know if we did it season one, but we have in the last season, and we might do it this year with three teams at a 7-4, 9-3, and 8-3 respectively. Ratchet has turned it around once he got Blake Bortles at quarterback,
Mm.
and he's just been on a tear, averaging about 30 points in a game, and he's been lumping up some coaches, and looks to be the front runner in that division.
I don't know.
Uh,
Those Raiders on a 7 game winning streak and beat the Chargers last time they played. Are the
yeah, yeah,
season one champs back in action?
Yeah, this is a rebuilding year for the Raiders, so we're just trying to stay afloat. We got some young guys that, drop some passes, and Latavius Murray is healthy now. We were missing him before, and Cooper's now healthy. But the defense isn't where we want it to be. But we're gonna try to get into the playoffs and make some noise. But it's a rebuilding year just to get ready for season 4 and season 5. We want to get ready for that. And you can never count out those Broncos. They actually beat us twice, but they have had some stumbles against the Chiefs, the Titans, and I believe Pittsburgh in these last 3 out of their last 5 games. So not sure what's happening there.
Well, you guys look like you may be on track once again to getting 3 teams in, but that's gonna kind of turn on this BK Arsonist guy. He
Uh,
started looking real strong, and then started dropping a couple games to some teams he probably
yeah,
shouldn't drop games to.
this is true. They've not been consistent in those games in what some might call the winnable games, but they're right in it. They're fighting with Tennessee and Houston for what looks to be the final wild card spot. But there's some tough games left on my schedule. I still play Seattle. I still play the Rams, so those are not easy games. Um, and I think I play Indianapolis as well. So I think I got the Colts on my schedule as well. So uh, we may be fighting for that last spot ourselves. We're not sure. All right.
Alrighty.
All right. So here, I'd like to, I don't know if you want to take a look at these award races. I know we have some folks that are emerging, and that XP in the off season is lovely if you can get it. I never seem to get any of my guys in this. So
I usually have
I gotta,
one dude, but I don't get him. I don't pull off. My offensive players have
mm,
been struggling to get in there. They staying hurt. Tevin was in the running for a while. He's still third. Looking at MVP, he's third in MVP, but he's not playing anymore. So it looks like it's gonna be between Gurley and this Marquise Conrad guy. Renegade is like the master of this.
yeah. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. These guys are always top of the list. Gurley this is like a fixture. He's like there every season. And this
Yeah,
Darian Whitner at 4 and Sean Alexander, the second coming, is bringing up number 5. So I don't know how much change we'll get in that top 5 as we head towards the end of the
yeah. I think
season.
it's probably a two-horse race at this point. Conrad just has way too many touchdowns, and Gurley. The thing I looked at earlier when I was looking at this race, Gurley has his rushing stuff going on, but they also try to involve him in the passing game a little bit too. So I think he's got 4 or 5 receiving TDs. So it's a two-horse race at this point. It looks like
Yeah. And for Coach of the Year,
Marvin
it's
Lewis.
the Colts again. Marvin Lewis is the top coach of the year. I didn't even know he was coaching that team. And Jeff Jeff Fisher is second. He's got a second reprieve, got a reprieve in Madden after getting
Mike
dumped in
McCarthy's
real life.
third.
Mike McCarthy of the Packers Coach of the Year. What if that happens? And Chuck Pagano at 4, and Tomas Pitta is bringing up number 5 for the Oakland Raiders. So, yeah, Coach of the Year. Do you get points for that? Do you get like XP points for
Yeah, you get
Coach
Coach
of the Year?
XP for that. You may get 3 or 4 thousand. I mean, it's enough to buy a couple of those XP packages for
Hmm.
your position, so it's worth it.
It is worth it. All right. So, on the NFC Offensive Player of the Year, as you would expect, Gurley, Darian Whitner, Tevin Coleman, unfortunately, going to drop due to the injury. Sean Alexander and Bubba Green Beckham, who was up there last year, is and Eddie Money, Eric Money, is number 6 there for Offensive Player of the Year. We like to mention him. We love that name, Eric
Yeah,
Money.
yeah, that's the Gurley's award. I don't think there's anybody's gonna touch that. Defensive Player of the Year though is a wide open race. You got T.J. McDonald, the old man, out there leading it. But
Yeah.
he's not putting up spectacular numbers. I think he's maybe first in the league in interceptions, but this is one award that I think still has got some wiggle room in there as far as who can win it.
Uh, yeah, I don't. And Mike Daniels from Green Bay,
I think
well,
he's
a
leading the
lot of
league in sacks.
yeah, he is the top sack master. And there's another Ram here. Three Rams in the top four.
Yeah, they're
So
just on the bandwagon right now with those guys. Hopefully, some of those guys drop. I mean, I looked at TJ earlier today, and I mean, like I said, he's making some interceptions, but he's not even leading the league in interceptions.
yeah, how is this
Eh,
happening?
It's fucking media
Must be a
bias, man. Media bias.
must be a
These dudes
must
go
be a record
undefeated.
thing.
He's got five
Yeah,
interceptions, one sack, and one forced fumble, and this dude is defensive player of the year.
yeah, I don't
Hmm.
know about that.
Anyway,
Yeah, I check the logic. All right, let's go to the offensive side of the rookies for offensive rookie of the year. And Sean Alexander for Seattle is leading the list with Eric Money behind him. Um, the, the standout speedster from Tampa, Kedarius Johnston, is injured. So
he's
I
out
don't
for
know
the
if
year, I believe.
yeah, so he's finished. And Max Thomas, is that the quarterback?
I believe that is the quarterback. Yes.
Max Thomas for Washington, and Russell Rankin from Philadelphia. Wow, that's a didn't expect to see any Eagles on this
And
list.
I don't expect to see the Eagles anywhere. Uh,
Yeah.
but I was actually looking at this Sean Alexander, Eric Money, um, this Sean Alexander, Eric Money race, and rushing yards is pretty close, but Sean Alexander has, I know he's got at least 40 catches. So
Hmm.
there's a concerted effort to get this man the ball.
Yeah,
Oh,
and some guys are definitely getting those touches.
yeah,
Expecting that.
yeah. I
Never heard of
I don't
these
really
guys.
know why these guys are here.
All three
I
of
don't
them, no
really know why
less.
they're here. I mean, they're rookies. I can tell you that. Let me pull up the rookie stats. I don't want to just say that and
Just
leave it at
missed
that.
this. Yeah,
Terrell McGriff is leading all rookies in sacks. He has 10 sacks. Second behind him is Luther Shark LeVay.
love these names.
And after that, you got Leon Portis has 3 interceptions. The champ just joined us. Did you see that?
Yeah. Oh, did he?
Yeah, he just jumped in this party.
Oh, do we have a guest?
Yeah, man, what's going on, man? What's all that
Is the,
hate for on the Rams, man?
is the champ
Hey,
here? We
hey,
got a
man. Let me
surprise
No,
make
that
guest.
sure. Let me make sure you got all your audio set up, man. Hold on.
Can we hear the champ? Oh man! Wow. It's like you gotta love social media when y'all could call right in.
You know that he just jumps in here. We can't. I can't say no to the champ if he sends me an invite and wants
No,
to get in. I can't say no. As long as you. All right, man. Just chill out. Just chill out for a second, man. Let me make sure your stuff is set up right, yo. Go to your settings, man, and make sure that you got your party audio shared. What was that? It was 2 things we had to set up. Franchise. You remember what they were? I think we're good. Squirrelbird says he can hear him. Yeah, they hear him, man. He loud, dog. They can hear him. What you got to get off your chest? What do you have to get off your chest, Lawns?
I could care
Okay.
less about that. I
Okay.
want to know where all the animosity towards my players are coming from. with the Falcons organization. Like, what the fuck is all that heat for?
Uh, Monkey, I guess. I think
Hold
that was
on, man.
addressed to you.
Now we can't hear him, man. Hold on. Wait a minute. I'm listening to people. Oh, okay. We're good. All right. So yeah. What are you talking about, man? This is not about the Falcons organization, man. I am not in my Falcons capacity right now. We're talking about awards. I'm trying to figure out why we got Rams people in here for awards and they ain't even done nothing to deserve to be in here. What's that about? Like, what
They
has
have the
Robert
best
Quinn
man.
done? What has Robert Quinn done?
He won 12 games, nigga. He won 12 games. Dog.
Oh, okay, I
That's
get
what
it.
he
I get
did.
it. What? Okay, I get it. The 112 game. What about this Alexander dude? What has he done?
Here, let me see. Alexander. Oh, he won 12 games too. You know what I mean?
Okay.
These niggas just been winning, man. Can
Okay.
they get
All
some
right.
credit?
My bad, man. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I mean, I knew, but I didn't know. I just forgot. I forgot.
Oh, all right.
He won 12
I'm
games.
just saying, man. Okay.
So Lons, is the game slowing down for you this season? Is it that much easier that you just cruising to a 12-0 record? I mean, what's different than this year
Oh
from the
no.
championship player?
Oh no.
Championship year?
I'll be the first one to admit it's been some luck on my side. I'll be the first one to admit that shit been just going my way.
Is the organization looking at the undefeated back-to-back championship to cement that legacy? Is that something you're talking to your players about?
Now we talking about Detroit right now. That's what we worry about.
Oh, you're on to Detroit. It's like that, huh? It's one
Yeah,
game at a
man, we
time.
worry about Detroit. Sticky, you let me know when you're ready, Sticky. Let me know.
Hey, man, you gotta love that focus, man. You gotta love that focus.
We do love the focus. We do want to know.
Oh,
Will
y'all made
this-
that? All right, hold on. I gotta talk shit. Hold on. Go out there with mommy.
when you've got 4 games left, are you resting any players, or are they planning on playing these last 4 games?
We sat a few players last year. All right. We sat some players last year, so we might do that this year, depending on what the record looks like. If we take an L, I'm definitely sitting people, but I might go for that undefeated season. But I'm not worried about that right now.
Got Detroit, then you play Oakland.
Oh, he's got Oakland. I forgot. He's got Oakland coming up, and he's got Denver coming up. Those are gonna be some classics.
The last game of the season is against Denver.
I'm worried about those 2 games. I'm trying to figure out why the fuck this nigga. Oh no, why the fuck Billy getting so much airway, man? Come on, man.
Listen, man. We like to give airtime to people who are in the spotlight for the first time, man. I'd like to talk about
Cut
this a
that
little
shit
bit.
out, man.
So I mean, you and Billy, that might be the NFC Championship matchup, man. You never know.
I put my first round pick up saying that he lose in the first round.
Oh, you heard it here live on this show. You heard it here live. You heard it live. He put up his first round pick that Billy loses in his first game. So
I'm putting that up.
So I mean, what is it about Billy? Is it his history? Why doesn't he get the respect for his 10-2 record?
I'm
Why
just
is he
going
not
off.
believable?
I'm
in
going
your
off
mind, Coach?
our game, man.
You played him this year? Did you play him this year?
Oh yeah, that shit got ugly.
Let me look at the score. I don't even remember.
Yeah, they played earlier, and it was 30, I think 40-16 or something like that.
That was a homecoming game. That was a homecoming game.
Man.
So when you say, so this is from personal experience of your boys going up against him, and you're saying that game wasn't even close.
Nah, and I was to be honest, I was testing stuff out. You know,
Wow,
these games that we get aired.
labbing that game?
No, I'm not gonna go that far. I'm gonna give him some respect. But when the cameras is out in regular season, we not putting our real stuff out, man. We're not putting the
Oh,
real
I
stuff
got it.
up.
So that game was televised. So you went to your alternate game plan and put up 40 on them. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying, Coach?
yeah. We're gonna bring up the real stuff when the cameras are around in the playoffs. Y'all can see that now.
Mariota threw for 336 in that game, Monk. So we can understand why you might be saying that.
Hey man, look,
Gurley had 103 yards on 14 carries, and AP had 38 yards rushing.
can't say nothing to the champ, man. Last time I saw this man in the
No,
playoffs, he beat the brakes off me, so I can't say
no,
nothing.
I don't know
Hats
about
off,
that.
hats off.
yeah. He's the reigning champion and
Right.
banner holder, but he is questioning the Packers as a legitimate number 2 seed. So Packers still got a lot to prove to a lot of people.
I don't know if
Yeah.
they'll ever get
Shout
the
out to
respect,
Gabe.
man.
Shout out to Gabe.
what's going on
Shout
with Gabe? Where is Gabe?
I don't know, man. He brought out like 5 different excuses this year. So I feel bad. I feel bad that he went in and threw the controller at his TV and shit. But, I mean,
Oh. Well, Coach, if you could stay with us for our next segment, we'd like you to weigh in on our next thought of scheme or team, because we're actually going to take your division. We're going to take a look at some of the lesser teams, teams that have not progressed so well, and talk about. And you have some good insight. Is it the scheme or is it the team that's the issue? And we're going to start in your division with the Arizona Cardinals. Is the issue the scheme or is the issue the team?
man, that's a real question.
That's a real question for the Arizona Cardinals. Those are between them and the Niners
Oh,
are the
man.
only.
Get the coach out of there, man. Fire him. We need a new coach, man.
So it's the coach, and the coach needs to be changed. Is that you're saying?
Get the organization. We need new front office. We need new coaches. We need a
Wow,
whole new organization, man. Get them out of here.
Arizona. Wow. So that's scheme and and
Get them out of here,
Everything.
ownership.
man.
Scheme,
So
team,
Monk.
ownership,
No.
and coach.
GM doing his thing. The GM doing his thing. What's his team rank? Like, I
Are
know
they
they got to
good?
be close to 90.
Yeah, his team is stacked. It's always been stacked.
Yeah. But
But
it's
the
the
GM got to
coaching.
go. The GM got to go just because he's associated with the coach. So get him out of here. Get him
Yeah.
out of
So
here,
it's the
man.
coach. All right. You got to play the Niners had a change in ownership. Um, is it the scheme in San Francisco or is it the team?
I played both coaches this year.
Yeah, yeah.
Before Chase had the incident with his family. Prayers up for his mom.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
doing this thing with them. Like he was gonna give people problems with that team.
So they were on the
Uh,
uptick.
yeah, they were on the come up, but with the new coach, it's not. I don't think he got the right players, and I feel like if he get his players in, he can do damage. Just like we were saying with Chase last year.
Mm-hmm. You gotta get your type of folks in there,
Yeah,
execute what you want to do. All right,
yeah.
all right. Let's
Yeah,
swing
I
it
mean
over to.
it's a combination with there's got to be a combination with those 49ers because they still don't, just looking at their roster, they still don't have a player on there really,
Right,
especially on offense, that you're like, all right, I need to watch out for this dude.
right, right. And
Yeah, so
then like after we played our game, I was talking to him, and that's exactly what he was saying. He was all like, "I'm done." He trying to look for a diamond in the rough. And he got. If you look at his squad, he got some receivers that he could work with.
You got to build
But
them.
it's just like, yeah, like does he have enough time to build them now
have 2 more
with that many
seasons
holes
left.
on his team?
All right, well, 49ers, Cardinals. The Cardinals need a new coach, and among other things.
We
There's some
still need to
breaking
take that
news
fucking
right quick.
trash
I
out
hate to
sometime.
interrupt, but Des Bryant is apparently out for the season in this Cowboys Saints game.
What?
Oh,
Whoa! Wow! Is that Juice? Was he playing the Saints?
Yep, dislocated elbow, 6 weeks.
The
damn, he
Saints
called
have
it
done
too.
it again. Wow, that's
That's
a
gonna
tough
hurt.
loss. Yeah. Um. Speaking of the Saints, is it scheme or is it team with the New Orleans Saints?
That's definitely scheme at this point. You could
Yeah.
just tell, like playing the Saints at this point, they're just going through the motions. They're not even really trying to like. You get up a couple touchdowns on them, and they're straight up,
Mm,
running clock early in the game. So
mm,
it's at the point now where they don't even. I don't even know if they have the passion now. He's playing his games, but
yeah.
I mean, his team, he's worked. I mean, his team has some issues too. Like he let Cooks go in that trade we talked about.
Yeah,
Um,
the car dealership trade. Yep.
So I mean, he's got some team issues, but he had a decent season last year, and I don't think he's lost anything. Well, he did trade Kirk Cousins, but right now, I know the times I played him this year, it's been straight up not even attempting to convert first downs after being down a couple touchdowns. So I'm gonna say that scheme.
Let's swing it over to the north. The Chicago Polos here at 6-6. Do we talk about that? Um, is it
His team's good scheme.
yeah,
He
scheme,
hadn't been
right?
putting in
Scheme.
that practice time.
Yeah, yeah. I would say scheme as well. Chicago Bears, scheme or team?
We got to call it scheme because that's somebody that we've been talking about all these weeks, looking at his team like, hey, this guy's making moves. He's making moves, and
Yeah, yeah,
for some reason, he's not able to pull these games out.
yeah. They got White, and they had some good receivers on that team. You would expect to see more.
Good
And our
receivers, Freeman, nice little quarterback.
and my one of my favorites, the Lions. They play their games, but they're sitting here at 1-11.
Hmm.
I'm going to say this is a scheme issue because they're ranked 32nd in offense, 32nd against the pass, in the pass, 32nd against I mean, sorry, on the run of offense. They're
And
just struggling offensively.
they've had two high round picks, so they were able to get some solid players with.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean, scheme.
Oh,
Yes.
what does rush defense look like?
The run defense, they are 22nd against the
Oh,
run.
all right. Say no more.
Yeah.
Say
Yeah,
no more.
they're 1-11.
It sound like the MVP game.
Oh hell,
Oh
300
man.
It sound
yards
like the
coming,
MVP
300
game.
yards coming down the pipe.
All right, you got some favorites coming up here. Let's go to the 3-9 Giants, which is new ownership. This guy Bailey. I've seen some tough scores coming from him, like the close games. But is the
Okay,
talent there after Beckham's gone?
I know they got David Johnson.
Yeah,
Other than that, I couldn't really name anybody on their team. They got Carson Palmer, I think,
Carson
still.
Palmer. Yeah,
I played this guy.
That
I
defense is
played the
crazy.
Giants. Yeah, I played the Giants early, and they didn't really have a lot scheme wise. He ran a lot of screens. I mean, he played smart. He didn't turn over a lot.
Mhm.
I don't know, man.
What about the Philadelphia Eagles? Clutch. I mean, they're 2-9. I mean, is there any hope here? What is it,
Drugs.
scheme or team?
It's drugs. That's what that is. Drugs.
Drugs causing psychological disorders. This what we're dealing with in Philly. I mean, this guy was in the playoffs last Madden, if you recall. All right.
Clutch was a perennial play. Clutch was tough last Madden. Clutch was in the playoffs every year. I mean, I played him
Yeah.
in the playoffs
He
2
really was.
consecutive years.
I thought he was bullshitting. I don't ever
No.
remember him in the playoffs.
Clutch was.
Yeah.
I played Clutch in the playoffs twice last year, and they were tough games. I think every time I played him, I won by like 5 points. So he was. I mean, he was tough last year.
Mm.
But
Difference a year.
what a difference a year makes.
All right, quickly, we were running out of time. The AFC East, I mean, the New York Jets tied one of our favorite owners. He's 2-10. Is it the scheme or is it the team?
Hmm. He's had a lot of first round picks that he's
Yes, he
made
has.
over the last 2 or 3 seasons.
The talents. So you're saying the talent's there.
I mean, he still doesn't have a quarterback. I mean, his
Yeah, you
quarterback's
don't have a
decent.
quarter that changes the whole dynamic of your team.
Yeah,
I
his
think he has
quarterback's
a
decent.
quarterback, but he got hurt. Yeah, he got hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a couple decent quarterbacks, but they ain't like elite. I mean, they ain't top shelf. I mean, he's got quarterbacks
Yeah.
I think he should be able to win with. Um, but I mean, he's got players, dude. He's got players. It's got to be scheme.
Mm. All right, definitely skiing the Bills and the Patriots. I mean,
Patriots is definitely scheme because they have a team. They have a
yeah, they
squad.
got Von Miller. They got a lot of talent on that team, so it's definitely a scheme issue, huh?
Yeah, the Bills are in a situation right now where they don't have a quarterback at all. Like they had your boy, what's his name, Tyrod Taylor, and they traded him because he was going down, and he wasn't really that good passing to begin with. So he's stacking up trying to get him a quarterback. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and say it's the squad. But
Yeah, it's definitely the squad. Come holler at me in the off season, K Puzzle. I got something for you. It's the squad, man. It's the squad.
Yeah, Rams gonna parlay some talent to Buffalo, and quickly the AFC North. The Cleveland Browns are at 2-9.
mm,
Um,
it's hard to say because they've been winning with that team, up until
yeah,
this year. They've been winning.
yeah,
Now all of a sudden they're getting smashed.
yeah.
Like smashed. They have had some horrible, horrible losses, dude.
Like 50 points. I mean, like,
Yeah,
damn.
this is that's a scheme thing right there. You went from being able to win. I mean, I know they weren't the most talented team to begin with, but you won with those dudes. So the only thing that's changed, he hadn't made no trades. The only thing that's
Yeah.
changed is scheme. 61-14, 37-17, 45-13,
What's going on?
44-14, 45-14, and 58-21.
They've given up 380 points in 11 games. That's crazy.
I don't
That's
know what's
crazy.
going on in Cleveland. To be honest with you, that's that marriage shit right there.
Yeah.
That's that newlywed.
Swing it over to the AFC South. The Jaguars. Mind in Mind is the new GM for the
Hey man, if you don't call
Jaguars.
that man by his real name,
What's his real name, Locke?
What might that be, Coach?
come on, man. Kendrick, what's happening, man? What's
Oh,
happening, Kendrick?
Kendrick sighting.
Kendrick,
Well,
man.
listen, I'm gonna go. I'm gotta go Stephen A. Smith because this dude told us at the beginning of the year he was winning his division after he switched from the Titans to the Jags. Right? And he
Yeah,
moved over to a different team, and he traded away his franchise quarterback for aging quarterback.
he
And now
prefers
he's gonna
short and
need a
mid.
quarterback in the offseason. Yeah, it's short and mid. And now he's 3-9. We got to go Stephen A. Smith on him here and say, what the hell is going on? A 3-9.
Man, that
You got
boiler
all
room
the young
pressure, man.
talent.
That boiler room pressure, man. You get a dude get you in the office with the door locked. One of them vets. And Ratchet's one of those quiet dudes, man. Who you think they'll be giving you that pressure like that? But I can't. There's no other explanation. I just don't understand.
He's going to need a quarterback next season.
Yes, he is.
And that
Yes, he
team
is.
was stacked. I think Krim left them, like, as you said, in mint condition.
Pristine.
Mint condition. You move into a house like, damn, did anybody even live here?
Mm-mm. That shit ain't even been.
Hell
That
no.
house, them Jags had not even been shown to anybody. So that dude had not spent a
Yeah.
dime of XP or nothing.
Oh, and now they're 3-9. We got to get at you, mind in mind. This is not exceptional. I mean, it's not acceptable. All right, and last
Yeah.
but not least, my main man Booker at 2-10. Booker's been doing streams with his face and giant
Has
paraphernalia.
he?
Yeah, I don't know if you've been watching Booker's games, but he's got like a puppet, like a giant puppet, you know, The mascot is at his games, literally. Is it
That's
scheme
hilarious.
or team with the Kansas City Chiefs? I'm gonna say it's scheme. I've seen Booker do
Yeah.
some stuff. And I'm like, what are you doing, Booker? Like it'd be 3rd and 3 inside the 10, and he's like 5 wide and it throwing it into the end zone. I mean, it
Booker's one
is
of the
ugly.
hardest dudes to trade with, so he hadn't traded any of that talent unless he's getting over on you huge time. Booker's not trading with
Hmm.
you.
Yeah, I think if he goes back to his Madden like 13 approach where he was running the ball, playing smart, ball control, he can make some noise and take his shots.
Yep. And his quarterback situation, the only thing though is that quarterback situation in Kansas City right now is ugly. Like that may be the ugliest quarterback situation in league history. He's got a
Yeah.
63 overall and a 61 overall are his
Those are his
quarterbacks
quarterback?
as his quarterbacks. Look, out of his two quarterbacks, one of them has over 80 in a passing category. One of his quarterbacks has 80 short, 70 mid, and 68 deep. The other has 74 short, 71 mid, and 65 deep. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but I kind of feel like if you go look at free agency, there's somebody better than those dudes.
This is the
I
only
kind of
show
feel
where
like
we talk about you. Yeah, and you come on the air and straighten it out. Booker T, please break this down for us.
Oh Lord. Tell them how you really feel, bro.
Oh oh
so for those of y'all who can't who are listening,
Mm. Oh.
Oh, dude. Oh, shit.
so wait,
Damn, Buck, they can't even hear
book.
you, bro.
All right, look,
Is that
Booker
the grass? Yo,
Booker cannot be
it's too
heard.
bad
He
and
just
shit.
jumped in here and started talking some shit about some players. Booker, man, I'm gonna summarize what you said unless you go do something about those settings, homeboy, because they can't hear you. You got to go into your broadcast settings. You got to make sure you got share party audio. I mean share audio on. Franchiser, if you could walk them through it, we're
Yeah,
gonna give
go
you
to
a couple
party.
minutes, man, because you came in here right as we were wrapping up. But what you said needs to be said. Yeah.
Yeah, go to.
Oh, there you go. Now, how's that? Can you hear me now?
Confirm if you guys can hear Booker, please.
Yeah,
Can you hear me now?
let us know.
Go.
Can you hear me now?
There's some good stuff, Book. I hope you can
Okay.
retell that story.
All
Wait,
right.
wait. Don't
Five
start
time
yet. Don't
champion.
start yet. We ain't ready. We ain't ready. I'm just trying to get some confirmation
Uh, you're
that
not
you're
ready.
live.
Okay.
The Verizon guy. What are you talking about? Oh, the Verizon guy in the background. Say something, Book.
Booker.
Hello, hello. 5-time champion.
All right, I think they say we hear the Verizon guy.
All right. Can you hear me now? I'm
All
not
right,
with
there we go.
Verizon.
They
I'm
hear
with
you.
Sprint. All right. Remember, I got a yellow jersey
Okay,
on now.
Booker,
I'm
you,
with
you
Sprint.
busted in here before we could So
All right.
please repeat what you said. Please
All right.
repeat what you
The
said for the
problem.
people who didn't hear it.
All right. For the people who didn't hear me, half the guys in this league can't play fucking defense. They play fucking zone, cover for show defense all fucking game long. All right. And they can't play with guys if they don't have 99 speed. They can't play with corners who aren't Patrick Peterson all game long. All right.
Oh, Chris Harris.
Because they're garbage. All right. I play with the worst players in the league, and you guys still can't beat me. All right. I play with one hand, and you guys can't beat me. So think about it. What would you do if you had one hand and you sit in the pocket and try to read the game? Oh no. I played this guy who had the Seahawks, and he barely beat me, and I threw 3 fucking picks. All right. He ran play action, halfback toss, every fucking play. All right. Did he want to switch his plays up? Oh no. You got 490 some odd plays to run, and you run 6 plays all game long. All right. He
So
run
tell me
option
this.
left, right. Now, I'm not gonna say who he is, but everybody knows you run option left, right, up the middle, left, right, up the middle. All right. Then when you run no huddle, knowing that okay, I can click on, click off fast enough, then you figure, oh wow, I can get a playoff. That's the only time you was able to get yards down the field. I'm sitting here cracking up because you figured out that's the only way you can get a playoff. That's why I sit in man defense and just laugh at you guys. You
So
guys
tell me this,
haven't
Booker.
realized.
Tell
Go
me this,
ahead.
Booker. What's going on with your quarterbacks, man? You just said fuck it, I'm gonna play with these dudes and I'm gonna be straight regardless. Proving the point with that.
Listen, I tried to trade for Aaron Rodgers. Mr. Polo, he's such a genius. If he's not raping you in a trade, he's not happy. All right? So I said, yes, I said the word rape. All right? Outside the Madden, Polo is a great guy. He's a true friend to have. All right? But on this game, he wants your pants pulled down so he can slap you on the ass. All right? And I'm telling you, Bahama, he's another one of those guys. If he ain't slapping you on the ass, all right, he's not happy. All right? Think about it. He kept talking about that dude's Sudafed. I said, I was laughing. I'm like, listen, that guy's a bum. All right? All right?
Sudafed.
That's what he thought he was selling me. A fucking cold relief, all right? I'm like, all right, listen, I play with the fucking guys I got, all right? Listen, half you guys are going to understand. The XP on this game is broken, all right? You only can get XP on 3 guys, and at the most, you get 300 XP if your guy it has a superstar trait. All right. If he doesn't, you get 100 XP if you practice with the guy. How can you build a guy up in 16 games with 100 XP at a practice? You can't. All right. If you don't get stats on a guy where he makes the Pro Bowl, he doesn't get any XP to where you can move him from a normal trade to another higher trade. See, the game was set up that way, so you have to play with certain type of players. Now, you guys asked the question why I don't trade my big name players around. Hell, because I'm not going to get raped. All right? If you offer me a fair trade, I'll give you a fair trade.
But Booker, you had a number 1 pick, and you didn't pick a quarterback this last draft. You took the middle linebacker, Sean Heck, if I recall. So you had an opportunity, right? To grab
I took a middle linebacker for a reason. My middle linebacker was old and his speed was dropping off drastically. All right? Think about it. In the game of football, people have to understand, you build your team by your defense. You don't build your team by your offense. Because if you can't stop the other team, all you're doing is playing patty cake. All right, 1 stop, you're behind 7. All right, but if you can stop the other team, you're up 7. All right, Listen, you must understand. The Baltimore Ravens won the Super Bowl by having an average quarterback and a premier defense.
Yo,
How
Brooke.
did they have a premier defense?
Yo,
They
Brooke.
drafted a linebacker, a middle linebacker. And what was his
Brooke, you don't
name?
have an average quarterback.
Yo,
Book
Listen,
your
hold on, average
quarterback is
quarterback.
hold
61.
on, Lons.
Look, you know
Hold
you my
on.
old.
There's
You know
gotta
you
be
my
a
old
quarterback
head,
in free
man.
agency right better than
You ain't
your
got no
dudes right
average
now this minute.
quarterback.
No. Check this out. What you guys fair to understand. What I did is drafted me a middle linebacker that would replace Derek Johnson. All right? And that's what I went after. So with my first round pick last year, I got my middle linebacker. All right?
How'd that work out?
This year, with my pick this year, if there's a quarterback that is sufficient in the system that I play, hey, I can draft one. All right? Because I sit in the pocket anyway. Because I can't make reads and run around like the rest of you guys anyway. All
I
right?
hear that. So you got a 2-year plan, and the next year is to get the quarterback.
Right.
Okay.
I went after my receiver. All right?
Right.
Because,
London Kenny.
listen, and that motherfucker's a monster. So once I found out the schematics on how I want to play with my receiver, I went after receivers that fit the mold of my receiver. And if you notice, I'm getting receivers that fit the mold of him. So I have booking receivers. All right? So you can't
But
double
nobody to
Kennedy.
get on the ball, man. What the fuck? I'm listening to
Hold
something.
on. Look at check this out. You keep saying nobody's getting him the ball. Look at the yardage that he has this year. All right? With not having a quarterback. All right?
You gotta make us believe by season 5, Booker, that this plan gotta come out by the next, not maybe by next year, but the next season, right? I mean, if you shows that progress by season 5, then I guess this is believable, right? But right now, everybody's like, hey, you 2-10, you got to show me how this is working, right?
Listen, you have to understand. My system is going to work, but it's not a system where the first thing that killed me is I would have never had to go and get another quarterback if the progression and the regression of players. Because my quarterback, Alex Smith, would have been fine if they didn't drop his throw accuracy down 10 points. All right? I would have stayed with him, but they dropped him so low that his a simple throw him down the middle took 10 hours. All right?
So you
that's
haven't been
why
able to find a deal for a marginal quarterback with like a pick short of your first.
No, I went after Eli. All right. So when I went after Eli, someone else got him, and they would use him as a backup. All right. When the free agency went around, somebody else offered him more money. All right. So then I tried to make trades for certain players that had the deep accuracy. All right. But people want too much. All right.
Sudafed.
Listen. All right. And then also, like Polo said he drafted his rookie quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
My opinion was if you drafted that rookie quarterback who had the slow trade, right? And you're not even going to play the guy, all right? Because you're playing Aaron Rodgers. So Aaron Rodgers is your starting quarterback. Even though you drafted that guy with a first-round pick, I'm not going to give you a first-round pick because he's not first-round talent on your team. Because you ain't playing him.
Emmanuel Session is who you're talking about.
Right. So I said, all right, I'll give you a second-round pick. All right. I was going to trade him my cornerback. He said, well, no, I don't want him. So what I did, I traded my corner for my bookend wide receiver. All right. So I got my bookend wide receiver. All right. So now I can stay in my I formations basically all game and dictate the defensive set. All right. Which is what if you can dictate the sets that people want to be in, it makes it easier for you. You know what I'm saying? Now that allows me to be able to run what I want to run on offense. All right.
Okay. All right,
All right,
but
Booker.
well,
All right, man. Well,
So
thanks for.
and listen, and as guys keep thinking that they have my first, I have all my draft picks. All right.
Yeah, you do have them, and we kind of know where you're going to pick in this the upcoming draft, and we're gonna be watching.
All right.
Definitely
No,
be
but see
watching.
that the thing is, see, you have to look at how everybody else is gonna pick. All right. There's a lot more other people who need quarterbacks coming up in the draft, and they got two hands. All right. So that's what people got to think about. I got one hand and need a quarterback. So what about all these other fools who got two hands and need quarterbacks? All right. So if they got two hands and need a quarterback, they're in a lot more trouble than I am with one hand. All
Squarebird
right.
said he tried to get you Big Ben.
No, he did not try to give me Big Ben. All right. Listen,
These
you
conflicting
can let
stories.
you can let your brother-in-law know. He tried to pull my pants down for Big Ben. All right. And listen, I don't trade like that.
You want to visualize that, right?
Listen.
Hmm.
Understand, my old lady's sick, but I ain't a fool. I may not have been born last night. I was born in the '60s. All right, I ain't that stupid. All
The
right.
'60s, Booker.
Well, Booker, there's
Come
four
on.
Yes, I was born
quarterbacks.
in the '60s.
Keep
Well,
it
I
in
will be
line,
born.
dog.
Hey, Book, there's
I was
four
born,
quarterbacks.
born in '89, baby.
Right. You was born in the '80s, huh?
'89.
Hey, congratulations. But hey,
Booker.
like you saw when Muhammad posted that the picks, my guy's not the top pick leader. So my guy's doing a hell of a lot good, especially when he didn't start the first 4 games. All right.
Okay.
See,
All right,
because
Booker.
I picked that guy out of the free agent pool and was trying him out. So I'm like, all right, he got 93 throw power, and he'll work.
Well, Booker, there's four quarterbacks in the draft coming up that are first round talent, so you should know everything about them come draft day,
Right.
right?
But so also you must also look at how I'm playing against certain people at times. I'm positioning myself in my pick. When I play Tide, all right,
Hmm.
Tide is a game that I could have played harder to win the game, all right? But because I threw
Booker
picks at
sandbagging
crucial
out here.
times with bad reads, all right? But
Booker
if I had won the
sandbagging.
game, no, I'm not gonna say I'm sandbagging because Loco got mad, all right? Because I messed his pickup, all right?
Booker, one
You know what I'm
last
saying?
question. One last question. We just got to note that the Panthers said that they tried to give you Eli. Is that true?
No, they did not. See, people should not listen. If you're trading me players this late in the season, I was open to certain trades throughout the season. All right, but you can't offer me players for Lincoln Kennedy. All right, you can't offer me players for Travis Kelsey. Come on, you have to understand who these guys are asking for. All right,
So they're trying to get your top talent, right?
you can't ask for my middle linebacker I just drafted and tell me, oh, this guy's a great player. You can't be Gad. All right. Now, I hate to blow him out the water, but this guy was trying to trade me the honey badger. All right. Now, if you tell me this guy has any common sense, why would you trade me the honey badger who you're trying to get rid of? Tell me he's the best safety in the game, right? You want Eric Berry, all right, and my wide receiver and my middle linebacker, and you'll trade me the honey badger. So if I make that deal to you, I'm the dumbest motherfucker in the league, all right? So I'm going to give you 3 main pieces to solidify your team for overpriced bum is what I'm doing, all right?
All
And
right,
you
Book.
tell me, hey,
Monk,
no,
this
y'all
goes-
don't want me to get real with y'all because
You
this
done
is how
got, you done
people
got
think in the
plenty.
league.
You done got plenty real, man. But we gonna have to cut it off at this point, my man.
Right, because hey, when keeping it real goes wrong, Dave
When keeping
Chappelle
it real
style,
goes
all right?
wrong. Well, we love you
All
though,
right?
Book.
And
We
that's
love
why, y'all say Book is the hardest motherfucker to trade with because I'm not pulling my pants down for none of you motherfuckers. All right, listen, the people I trade. Lons can say whatever, but Lons knows you offer me a fair deal, I give you a fair deal. All right.
I don't know about all that, but
Hold on, Lons. Hold on, Lons. Hey, Lons. Last year we traded for Austin Safarius Jenkins, correct?
I don't remember.
No, you come on. Now, last year we traded for Austin. I got Austin Safarius Jenkins off of you. All right?
All right.
And he was a tight end. All right?
All right.
And I traded whatever player you wanted off my team. All right? So I make trades with people, but it's a fair trade. I'd make win-win trades. All right? There's got to be a trade that if you want a player and I want a player, we can make a deal.
But Booker, you came on the air and cleared the air and, put a lot of these rumors to bed. And we
Put on the bed. Put on the bed.
Man, because I'm sitting here and listen, y'all think just because my wife's in the hospital and she's dying on me, then I'm not sitting here watching all you motherfuckers talking shit about me. All right? Listen, sometimes I be sitting here thinking about blowing my brains away, but then I see y'all shit talkers talking shit. Y'all just wake me right the fuck back up. All right, let's move this damn league along.
We gonna talk more shit then. We gonna talk more shit if that's what it does for you, brother. But we got prayers for you, man, on the real.
Yeah, we don't want you thinking like that. It's all.
Oh man, listen, I've been thinking like that even when I was in the war, man. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing out in this middle of this ocean with these bombs flying over my head? All right, I've always been crazy.
You got a draft coming up, and we're gonna see you get it right. All right, we're gonna see you get this right.
Man.
We got a road book. It's cut time book. We appreciate it. Franchise, Lons, everybody for coming in here. We appreciate it. See you next week on the Chalktalk. Peace out, Booker T. Good luck.